Bienvenidos a Vive tu experiencia con Global Exchange International. Mi nombre es David Bustos y voy a ser la persona encargada de acompañarlos en este nuevo segmento donde vamos a estar contando historias, aprendizaje, testimonios y muchas otras cosas, no solo del programa Au Pair, sino de todos los programas que tenemos en catálogo actualmente. El día de hoy sí va a estar enfocado hacia el programa Au Pair. Vamos a hablar de esta experiencia y de todo lo maravilloso que trae, de los beneficios, bueno, de muchas cosas del programa. Y tenemos para eso una invitada súper especial directamente desde Au Pair Care en Estados Unidos. We have Courtney Biggs. She's the Vicepresident of Field Operations. We're so glad to have you here in Colombia with us for this interview and this first ever episode for our new podcast. So yeah, welcome.
Gracias, and thank you for letting me talk in English. I know how you au pairs feel when you come to the United States. It can feel a little awkward, but thank you to the Global Exchange, all your family and community. It feels like a family with your office. They're wonderful. We know why your au pairs are so wonderful, so thank you for letting us be here.
Okay, so Courtney, we're here today because we're gonna be talking about how this program, the Au Pair program, is a life-changing experience actually, and how we support with your cooperation from Au Pair Care to fulfill our au pairs' dreams in this program and help them achieve and support them throughout all the process since they start here in their home country until they come back to their home country once again. Okay, so to start, I like to talk about the essentials. So what makes the Au Pair program such a special and transformative experience for those who participate?
I think that it takes a special person that is able to leave their mom and dad and family in Colombia and come to the United States. So you have to have some courage, and having that courage, we are going to talk today about how you're going to have the support from both Global Exchange and from Au Pair Care. But it's somebody that wants to see the world, wants to see outside of their area, because when you go home and you maybe get married and you have kids, that's where your life is going to be. So you're giving yourself the experience of the world when you're young, and to form new ideas and really change who you are as a person to be the best person that you want to be.
Perfect, very good. Okay, so for the second question I have for this specific topic, it's what is the difference between the Au Pair program and other travel or work abroad programs?
Great question. And you've got a lot of options, but I think when somebody is, especially the Colombian, I think just your family culture, coming to a home in the United States is going to feel like home. So you're going to have a mom, a dad in the home, and children that you're going to be helping to take care of. But it's having that support of a family that is going to be very different than the other programs that are out there.
One of the most important topic for both au pairs and families are the safety. I think that's one of the biggest insecurities or uncertainties families here may have when sending an au pair abroad. Okay, so my question in this is, how does Au Pair Care and in conjunction with Global Exchange International work to ensure a positive and safe or protected experience for the au pairs?
And I don't know if you know this, but this is the most important question for you. So one thing for Au Pair Care, we've been in business in the United States for over 36 years. So it's very important that when we partner with our agencies overseas, that they have the experience that Global Exchange brings to us and has the number, the volume of au pairs that gives you the comfort of knowing so many other au pairs have been taken care of. So one, it's the partnership that we have. So starting with Global Exchange, and they're with you the whole way, but when you land in the United States, we got you. And I think it's important to know that we have, as a sponsor of the Department of State, we are seriously held to guidelines to ensure your health, your safety, and your welfare while on program. And that comes from filtering, vetting our host families. So we have criminal background checks, but it's a little bit more than that. It's sending our local staff, we call them area directors. You'll meet, they'll talk to you when you arrive. They'll be in your home to see you, check out your pictures, meet you, and they'll be in touch with you throughout your program year. So it's important that you understand that you have au pair care that is there to ensure when things get rocky, when you're sad, because you're gonna get sad, you're gonna miss home. You love your family, you love your friends, but you're gonna realize in about a month or two, you're gonna love the new family and new friends that you've made along the way. So we're there to make sure that you're gonna land into a suitable home. Our area directors are in that home. We're looking at the bedroom where you're gonna stay and making sure it's a suitable bedroom and making sure from our heart that I wouldn't send my daughter to this home that I wouldn't send an au pair. So we're gonna ensure that you have a good home when you land in the United States.
Perfect, perfect. So this next question, I'm actually gonna ask the question and answer it a little bit. But the question here is, how are candidates supported from the moment they apply until they are living with their host family? So I'm gonna answer the part, how are they supported while they're in their home country, because that's the part we focused most on as sending office. So in this part, we give advice since the moment they apply for the program, what documentation you're going to need, what requirements you need to have. We're gonna be checking with our advisor team if you have all the requirements met. If not, how can we help you to achieve them? And after we have all of that, we go through an English exam, because part of the program is to have at least a B1 in English. So that's very important in order to have good communication, to have a good relationship, not only with the family, with friends you make, with everyone you meet in the United States. So after that, we go through the whole application process, and you are gonna have also advisors there to help you create the most competitive profiles possible, based obviously on what are your abilities, what skills you have, what are your qualities, values, all of that. And after that, you're gonna be having also a visa advisory, where they're gonna tell you how to prepare your interview, how to fill out your DS-160 form. Everything related to the visa appointment is gonna be also held in a session with us, where we're gonna be discussing these topics. And finally, we're gonna help you do the final preparations before you leave. What do you need to bring? What do you need to pack? What's important? What are you gonna do when you arrive first at the United States? And when you get there, you're gonna still have some advisory from us if you want it, but that's the moment where au pair care takes over the whole process. So this is the time when you can tell me how do you keep supporting them while they're in the United States and after they come back, because I know we now have some things to help them get back to an employment, some certain, exactly. So give me a little details, more deep into that, please.
Okay, great. So we're going to be working with you while you're still in Colombia alongside Global Exchange with our training to fulfill what the Department of State requires for you to attend participate in the cultural exchange program. But once you get to the United States, you are going to be met with our Connect staff, Anna Marie and her team, with one goal, and that is for you to have the time of your life, for you to have a moment to take a breath when you're hearing all this different language. And it's hard. I just got here a couple days ago, and I know what that feels like. You're going to get to America. You're going to have some time to, maybe take a nap. You're going to be a little tired from travel. And then it's to have the time of your life seeing Manhattan and going around the town. When you land into your host family's home, they'll meet you at the airport, and they will give you 3 days of, let's just get to know one another. Your area director is also going to be calling you, checking in, and your family's going to be showing you this is the food, this is how the children do one thing. It's a lot to take in, but it's also a time just to acclimate with the family. And then you're going to have every month their area director checking in. We have fun events that we plan every month, and you have to attend them. A lot of thought, a lot of preparation goes into it, and it's your opportunity to connect with other au pairs. We teach line dancing and have parties with Halloween parties for this month. So many fun things to interact with other au pairs and really experience a whole part of the cultural exchange. You have so many different aspects of that. So you're going to have that support. There are regional managers that are there for any additional support. You have a team of staff at Au Pair Care that's going to ensure that you have a good time and that you're safe, and that at the end of the program, we are going to realize that there's culture shock at the beginning, but there's a little bit of culture shock also when you're getting ready to go home and you're so comfortable where you are, and all of a sudden, hopefully you'll be there 2 years, so it'll be after your second year that you're trying to figure out what is my life going to look like when I go back to Colombia. So we have courses in helping you to put together your resume, to put it together on LinkedIn, and just helping you with the next steps once you return home.
Now I want to talk about a little bit about not the ideal profile, but more of what a family is looking for in an au pair. What traits or qualities or values they consider the most important or they look for the most.
Bottom line, you need to exhibit that you like children. So we have to start there. So it comes from a place of feeling comfortable being able to leave your children with this person. So that fundamentally has to be the first part. But from there, you can be quiet, you can be shy, you can like maybe to write and art, or you can be a singer and you are outgoing and very social. And honesty is the best policy, because for every au pair, there's a host family out there. So there are host families, and some host families are looking for that quieter, piano playing, loves to read au pair, while others, such as me, I had 14 au pairs, I liked the drum playing, running, active to chase my 4 boys. So everybody's family situation is looking for something different. So all the skills that you're acquiring, all the things that you love, be honest, and we'll try our best to match you up with a family that is going to be the best pairing for you for your experience.
Okay, it's good you mentioned that, because this was a question some people ask frequently, so I wanted to put it on the podcast. But actually, my answer to it is kind of similar. Like, there's not a specific thing that you may seek for when looking for an au pair, but rather it's more being yourself, showing who you really are. And if they want you that way, I think that would be the best thing for a match, because they like who you are, they like what you are. You don't have to be like acting up or something. So yeah, I think that's very, very, very important that you mentioned that. That's very powerful, because that's something I've been telling everyone, but having a host mom actually saying that, I think it's more powerful than me saying it. Okay, so besides that, what recommendations would you give to those who are starting their process and want to ensure they have a successful experience in the program?
Okay, well, first of all, complete your application. That's most important. So if you started and you're dragging your feet and thinking about it, finish your application so you can get more information, and anything that might be causing you to slow down and I don't know, then you're going to get all your answers answered or questions answered. So other advice, again, it's just being honest who you are, the things that you love to do. I would have an au pair tell me, it's really important for me to have my weekends off. I can work all week, do my hours, but I'm a social person. I need that time to decompress. I would respect that. And there's some families that would say, oh, you know what, sorry, I really need a Saturday here and there. Well, that's not going to be the best match. So let's find that out while you're in Colombia before you come to the United States. So honesty about what you want and then the why behind it. Because if you say to a host family, oh, I don't want to work weekends, I don't want this, I don't want that, that doesn't sound very flexible. And I would think flexibility is one of the best qualities because, yes, having a family, children get sick, children are out a day of school. It's important to have some flexibility, but it's also really important to give the why. Why are you coming into the program? It's really important that I take my classes on Tuesdays and Thursday nights because it's a class I found. Can we accommodate that? So open communication is number one, the thing that's going to help you when you match, and it's going to help you throughout your entire program year.
Okay, and this is not so much for people starting the process, but another thing I would advise is, as you mentioning flexibility, I'm thinking of like the cultural flexibility also, because you're gonna be involved in a new culture now, different to what is your culture. I don't know who is watching me at this moment. But yeah, there are many things that will be different to what you're used to, but it's part of also of the program to be enrolled in another culture. So yeah, try to adapt to it, try to receive everything the best way possible, and if there's something you're not getting along with, just talk about it. I mean, it's okay. It's completely normal to have differences between cultures. That's basically what cultures are. Yes. So yeah, just try to be flexible in that part. Try to adapt the best way possible, and also try to showcase your culture, because I'm pretty sure most host families will be very appreciative of operas showcasing what their country is like, showing a little bit of their country. Am I right with that?
Very right. If you didn't care about that part of the program, you would get a nanny. There are options in the United States for childcare. And if you come into the au pair program, we find these are the families that truly are looking for that cultural immersion and teaching their children the values, the customs of other areas. And so you're not going to always agree with your host family. That's okay. We are not always going to agree with the au pair, but a part of a cultural exchange is bridging those cultural divides. It's respecting your ideas. It's respecting your way of how you eat, what you eat. And I have had so many au pairs in the home. Some of the food they made was very, very different. They didn't love some of the foods we made, but it was interesting by the end of the year how we were starting to eat one another's food, and it was something that stayed with us long after the au pair left, and I'm sure they took home to Colombia when they went back home as well. So it's definitely understanding. And piece of advice here, you will have cultural differences. There's no such thing as coming into this program and never having a concern. We say words differently, and even if you've learned a word one way, we have a variety of accents from the north when you're in Manhattan to I'm from the south, very different, to the west coast. So you're learning dialects, you're learning personalities. The culture on the United States West Coast is a lot more laid back than some of our East Coast. So I think you're going to learn a lot about the culture within that is very different within the United States, and that we have a lot of different host families because we have so many people that come from all over the world to live in the United States. So open-minded, open communication, and you're set.
Perfect. And now I want to go into a topic that is the alliance between the actual companies, between Global Exchange International and Upper Care. So for this part, I mean, we know we have a very strong alliance for many years now. But what does this collaboration represent for you as a company, and what concrete benefits does it bring to the participants we send you?
Well, So to speak highly of au pair care, we're the leading au pair agency in the United States. We're well thought of, well respected, and doing this for 36 years, we have to be very, very particular on who we partner with. So finding global exchange that has that equal history, longevity, and again, the power of numbers, the volume of au pairs you are able to send to us speaks volumes for the quality program that you run. So we're always looking for a partner that's going to have the same values of crossing your T's, dotting your I's, so just making sure that you're going through the process the way that is expected, because that's what is expected of us. So we have very high standards, and it's important that we work with an agency like Global Exchange that has equal high standards.
Oh my God, that actually makes me feel a little bit emotional. It's so good to actually hear that, because we also feel the same way about upper care. We think it's a very big and strong alliance for us because, yeah, what you say, we're kind of in the same in the same path of what we're looking for, especially the attention to the detail, quality of service before quantity. I think that's very important. So yeah, I'm very glad to hear that, because we as Global Exchange International feel the same way, the other way around. So yeah, perfect. And yeah, just to finish, I just wanna ask you for an advice or anything we can say to the people that's watching that may be interested in the upper program but haven't made the decision yet. What advice would you give them? Why should they apply to the program?
I think watching this podcast and getting more information, always be curious. So always looking into a situation to see, is that me? Do you like children? Well, yes, I like children. Okay, so now I want to find out a little bit more. What does this involve? So it starts with being curious, asking lots and lots of questions. And there are other au pair agencies on both sides. I think you'll always end up here if you're going to apply, but be smart. It's your decision, it's your life. So look into getting more information and making sure that if you have questions, your agency is able to answer questions. And there's so many au pairs that are out there that can give you their experiences. That's one thing that we highlight a lot at Au Pair Care, is the actual experiences of our participants, because that's what you need to know is, how is this impacting someone? What is it going to look like for me if I'm over here in America having this? You know, what is my experience going to look like? And it's going to look a little different, but it's good to see that they're in a safe environment and they're learning from a family and they're having a great time. So my advice is be curious, get the information, and then contact David and his organization when you're ready to go.
Perfect. Well, this has been a very inspiring conversation. I want to thank you, Courtney, once again for joining us on our very first episode of this podcast. And yeah, I mean, just to close, what I can say before I go back to Spanish is, yeah, it's been very inspirational. There's many things here that you will be asking later to your advisor or me when you are enrolling in the program. So pay close attention to this podcast, because very important information has been given by us today. And well, going back to Spanish, agradecerles a todos por acompañarnos el día de hoy en este podcast. Acompáñanos en los siguientes, estén pendientes que vamos a estar subiendo muchos más videos de este segmento, con muchos más invitados súper interesantes, hablando de todos los programas que tenemos en catálogo. Y bueno, quédense pendientes para más. Feliz día. Recuerden, van a vivir su mejor experiencia con Global Exchange International.